Alright, so yeah, tell me what Zebra Mountain was in a short little brief thing.
Zebra Mountain was basically a local band that was like really, I don't know, they like took over, and to me it seemed like a very just random thing, but I knew from my friends that it had been going on for a while, and they just had a lot of videos and they played a lot of shows, and they just had the right combo of shit and just were killing it in the local scene that we were at. So they ended up breaking up eventually, but like still people, when me and Jamie are out, they'll be like, hey, were you in Zebra Mountain? So that happens. I don't know. It was a thing. I really need like a plucker.
Okay, let me get you that for you. Wait, hold on. No, don't move. Don't move. This is set perfectly. That's perfect. Babe, hella cute. Everything is.
Yeah, and also my bag should have a pink bag in it. I need that pink
I
bag.
have a plucker in here.
You do?
Your bag specifically? Where?
No, it's fine if you have a plucker.
Okay, let's see.
I also have this too. What?
Okay,
Oh yeah, that's happening.
How did Witch and the Warlock start? You don't have to be exhaustive, just what are the main things? Like if you're on your dying day, you wanted to express basically why does Witch and the Warlock mean anything, and how did it start? What's the most memorable thing about it starting?
Witch and the Warlock really started the whole relationship with me and Jamie of working together as musicians or whatever, songwriters. It was basically the defining moment was me and him and all of our friends were driving to San Francisco, started playing this stupid song, and I started singing to it, and I was not known as a singer. I've been told multiple times in my life that I sucked, but he was like, I really like your voice, and that was kind of what started it. We just started writing songs, and we would write them like we would walk around town and just write them on the corners and stuff, or we would just record them in the van, and it's just kind of a thing that happened.
Do you remember? Tell the story about one of the first times we were riding was me with the acoustic and in the park.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, yeah, you just kind of said it. Do you want me to just say it? We were writing.
Memory, if you have that memory.
I more remember writing. We were sitting on this concrete, like one of those signs that says like "you are here" sort of deal. Like it was like one of the things that was for a neighborhood or whatever. We were sitting on it, and he had the acoustic and I had a notepad, and we were just kind of writing back and forth, and really mostly me just saying some stupid shit, and we were just making it up, and it was funny. It was really funny.
Didn't you always do poetry?
Yeah, I grew up writing, and I always just would write these really depressing poems that nobody really saw. He ended up seeing them though, just because I think they were on the wall or something when you were there. I don't know. Yeah, Jamie saw that I had written something. I think it was like I was moving out of my parents' house, and he had seen the poetry. Yeah.
Wasn't it true that you guys broke up over Twitter?
Yes.
What do you remember about that?
That was ridiculous. I feel like everybody not everybody in town, but like all of our friends were like aware of how volatile our relationship was, because I feel like we fought in public a lot, and it just kind of made sense that like when we were breaking up, it was over Twitter, and like everybody who followed either of us knew, and like it was just, yeah, we broke up over Twitter, so that was pretty horrendous.
Isn't it true that you guys had a lot of public displays of affection?
Yeah, we were crazy back in the day. We were like we would just walk around and like be doing, I don't even know what we were doing at the time. We were just always going somewhere and like just making out, just like heavily. We were always making out. Always. And just like, I remember like being really drunk this one time. Me and Jamie were really drunk, and like I just remember us like, it was next to some building, and I don't even know, it might have been a mall or something, but we ended up going in this back door and just like making out in this hallway of this place that I don't even know. There's more stories like that, like us having sex in the bathroom of a movie theater in the girls' room and people walking in and like we're on the ground and like, but luckily we're in a stall, but like, you know, it was, yeah, I don't know, always very drunk back then. Always very drunk.
So what happened in between Witch Walk? What happened in between Witch and the Warlock and Mrs. Rage?
If I'm remembering correctly, I think that we broke up for a few months, and I don't remember what Jamie was doing, and I feel like he was still working on Zero Mountain, but I was, doing lots of drugs, got addicted to some gross shit. And that was pretty much what I was doing. And so when we came back together and started a new project, I was definitely a different person. We definitely decided to go darker just because I was less light, in the sense of like musically, because if you ever heard Witch and the Warlock, it's blazing as he was. Yeah, so so we ended up doing Mrs. Rage, and Mrs. Rage wasn't much different at first, but it definitely began to evolve, which is funny because if you do see Mrs. Rage's last shit or hear it or whatever, it makes sense with Ventana Row right now.
Who was in Mrs. Rage?
So it was me, Jamie, Pete Morris or something like that. Tim, I don't know his last name, Tim something. Marco Rivera. Yeah, honestly, that's really all I remember. I was high on pills a lot of the time, so I don't really know that much about that shit. But I just remember us practicing a lot, which was good. But they were fun. We used to party with them pretty good, and it was a fun time. It was interesting.
Let's see. So, what happened after Mrs. Rage?
What happened after Mrs. Rage?
What was it like having a solo project?
Solo project was cool. I got it into my head that I should be a rapper, which was not my best idea, but it ended up being really cool because when Jamie did the album for me, regardless of my rapping, he made these really cool beats. So pretty much anything I did on top of it was dope. That was cool. I unfortunately did not feel that being a female white rapper was the way that I wanted to go with my life musically. I just didn't want to do that. I felt like I could do better than that. So no offense to female white rappers, I don't. But that album was dope. It's an interesting time. It was really fun recording that and writing that with Jamie because we were so retarded. Like we would have like some gin, just the nastiest shit, and then be trying to chase it with muffins because I worked at Pete's at the time, and like we would just not have any chase, so we would just and then we ended up titling one of the songs that it was like, or it was a lyric, I can't remember, I think it was a title. It's like chase the gin with a wheat muffin or something horrible. But yeah, it was really funny. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Where did you record that album? What was the title of that album?
So the album Whipped was actually recorded in a trailer that my dad owned. My dad owned this trailer and was trying to help us out because we were pretty poor and I was just starting to work. And it was on a Navy base, so it was like really cool because we could totally be loud as we wanted, pretty much at night for sure, without any real trouble. There was a security guard, but they didn't really mess with us as long as we didn't come out. Even though that trailer was like really dark, like we had some really good times in there though.
Let's see. What was it like filming music videos for Volly, Volatile, and Action Tycoon?
I remember it was really awkward for me to film music videos. Starting out then, I remember that I just wasn't comfortable with my body especially, but also just like, I didn't really know who I was yet. Like I kept like feeling like I had to fall into this like slut typecast that most women find themselves in. Or at least have, you know, been taught that they should be in that. So I feel like I just remember being like, all the time. And it was just, I don't know. But, it, you know, we learn. We live and we learn.
Let's see. What was the music video for JXP show like? What was the reception?
Oh my God. I know that there was a lot of shit talk at a certain point with us. There was so much shit talk. Like, I know that we had disabled the comments on the YouTube video. It got like a stupid amount of views. And like, there was good stuff. Like, I remember this one very flamboyant guy making a video. And like, he was lip singing the lyrics to some of those songs. And it was so funny. But a lot of it was just like dirty slut idiots, like, you know, just really, they just did not. They were like, no, for some reason, so much hate, you know, but it was probably because of the whiplash from like so much love for Zebra Mountain, you know? Not that there weren't haters for Zebra Mountain, but like it was mostly lovers, I think. And just like, I don't think they liked seeing Jamie go in this direction that he was going. They were like, who the fuck is this bitch and why are you doing that and where's the hardcore shit? So that was pretty funny, I think.
What was...
What?
2011. Just list a few comments what Grim Business was like for you being on the sidelines.
Oh yeah, that was a really interesting time, like going from being a part of what Jamie was doing for, you know, whenever we were together, it kind of, I got to try out being the girlfriend, which I didn't really ever have that much with Zebra Mountain, so I was just the girlfriend of the band member. And that was weird. It was kind of fun just because I was I've always liked making clothes, so I would like make the Grim Business t-shirts and I tried to sell them. Didn't really happen. I think I sold like 2 or something maybe at a show one time, but I don't know, it was just weird. Like it was cool. I really liked the way that the band was. JB, I think especially, like, I liked his style in that band. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty much, I mean.
And then, what did you think of the world famous Bull Boys?
Oh.
Just like maybe one comment on that.
Oh, just one?
Put the band name, well, maybe more, but put the band name in your comments so we don't have to use the audio for me saying this.
Okay. The world famous Gay Boys. No.
What were they like?
The world famous Pool Boys.
You didn't have to do that. You kept it a game.
I wasn't sure if I was going to get away with that or not. I'm like, should I?
Yep, keep going.
I don't know. I didn't really care. I feel like the first thing I saw was like that song. It was like, 'Cause I'm in love with myself. I can't remember the way that it went. 'Cause I'm in love with me. And I was like, just understand. I was like, fuck you guys. Fucking like, fucking lame ass motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that into it, but I do, feel like that really had to do with the fact that I was just mad that Jimmy wasn't with me, because I need my man, so I was pissed about that. But once he did that, it was a self-titled album, the one with the heads backwards, white album with black, I don't know. That album I really liked a lot, partially probably because of the fact that it had a voicemail of me at the beginning, which made me feel good. But the song that Jamie wrote for that was so dope. It was like, I was like, hope you die laying next to me, right? Hope you die laying next to me. And the rest of the album I ended up liking it, I think, because of that intro, because I had to like it, just because I'm like, ooh, what's the next song gonna be? Is it gonna be about me again? So I'm just conceited ass bitch. I'm just concerned about myself, I guess. But I just feel like most of the stuff was like, okay. I don't know. I liked some of it though. Even when I finally got over all the shit and just listened to it all with a clear mind and just without any personal gain involved. And I feel like the shit was good. It was just, I feel like it was going nowhere. It wasn't, oh God, I'm such a critic. I just don't care. I don't care about what I'm saying. I don't want to hear it. So I'm done with that question. I don't care.
Okay.
Here, wait, can we just do that over again? I'm just going to say, it's like the world famous Pool Boys. Who cares? That's pretty much how I feel.
Didn't Mrs. Rage do another album after the Pool Boys started?
Mrs. Rage. Oh, yeah,
what was recording that album like?
Coolest to Measure was, I really liked the location of making that album. We were once again in a weird spot. It was Zion Productions. It was Zion Productions Studio, and it wasn't for making music, funny enough. It was like, I had gone to this open mic in Berkeley at the Starry Plow, and I met Luke there. Luke, right? Luke. And he was one of the many people I met there, but like I ended up hitting everybody up and I was like, hey, does anybody know where I could record an album? And Luke was like, well, I'm renting this space if you wanted to, get in on it. And it was really cool because we got to be basically, it turned out it's like we walk in and it's like a giant warehouse with just like all these metal, like giant metal sculptures, and like you look up and there's like a pentacle and you're like, it was so cool. It was a really cool space, and it was funny because the only bad thing about it, I feel, was that even though there was noise, it was pretty good, but it was the fact that we couldn't get in without asking Luke first. Like he would have to send us it was basically connected. You could go to an app on your phone and you could open the door that way, but we didn't have that. So we would have to text him and he would open it up from wherever he was, which was dope. But sometimes we'd be coming in at like 2 a.m. or something stupid, and he's like, okay, like assholes, So that was cool though. It was really, really weird, just a weird time, but it was a lot of fun. Like I feel like that was the first time that we did that. It was like we started doing the thing to a click track before there was any beat at all. It was just, we just had a click going, and I think that was the first time we started doing that, is where we didn't have anything but just the click, and I just would freestyle over it, and then we would kind of pick the best parts of that and then work on those from there. And I don't necessarily remember doing anything besides that. I think that whole album was just like that, so that was cool. That was fun. Yeah, I do regret something though, is because I do feel like because before that, the reason why we even did that album in the first place was because I was actually paying Jamie to do my album. I was having I had been working on my own project, and I wanted him to record it, and he was recording it, and then at a certain point, I think it was done. It was pretty easy. It was just a bunch of acoustic songs that I had written, but he wanted to like work on some stuff with me, and we did this one track, and at the time I was just like, fuck this, and I just fucking fell asleep, and he ended up writing a whole like EP of his own because he just got inspired. But now listening to that one song, it's on one of my albums just randomly, like hell of different than everything else on that album. It's really dope. I really liked it. It was like a very interesting flavor, and I kind of had wished that we had just gone from there. But it just ended up, because it was like a space of time in between when we wrote that and then when we did the Cool as the Measure album, that whatever that was just fucking flew away, which sucks. But it's fine. The album still ended up being good. I feel like it was kind of it was like a more I don't know, it was what it was. It just happened, so I'm just like, it was.
Let's see.
Are all those questions on there? Or is it just like kind of
Yeah, those questions are all on there. Just about. There might be a few that I skewed, but they already had questions that represented them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, what happened in between Cool as the Measure and Mothchild?
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Let's just sum it up like a Titanic in 3 seconds, like 3 or 4 bullets.
That is very similar.
I died, I did drugs, he did this, I did that, and that.
Yeah, I'll make it even simpler. Basically, Mrs. Rage was supposed to go to LA. I was spiritually Nazi'd and decided not to go. Then, basically, he went, and a lot of shit happened in between that. I basically was in Texas at the middle of 2014? I don't know. Somewhere in 2014, yeah. It was like around August. I was in Texas. We ended up hooking up over the phone, like, hey, what are you doing? What's up? Miss working with you. And then we ended up basically creating a new band over the phone. I was in Texas and he was in Santa Cruz. And that's just kind of what happened. I just pretty much tried to get on a plane and didn't get on a plane, got on a bus instead. But regardless, I got there, and as soon as I did, we were pretty much straight into Mothchild. So that was like, it was pretty immediate.
And then let's see. What was the Young Platinum in 3 to 4 sentences?
The Young Platinum was a band that never played a show, so almost doesn't matter.
Anything else to be said about the Young Platinum? Let's just say Young Platinum was mixed up with Zebra Mountain or Mrs. Rage.
That would never happen.
Could you describe the unique identity of the Young Platinum?
Okay, the Young Platinum was something that happened while we were in Antioch, staying with Jamie's mom. And basically it was like Jamie had been in a couple of bands with his sister Steph before, and it would be nice to be in a band with her again generally. So that was what kind of happened. It was pretty much that. We were already going to make a band. We were jamming downstairs, and Jamie invited Steph to come play with us, and that was pretty much what happened. And we went from there.
It turned into what?
The Young Platinum.
No, but what did the Young Platinum turn into? It ended up being a band. What did it turn to?
Oh, a show. The Young Platinum turned into a show, basically.
Like a web series, right?
Yeah, basically the Young Platinum was a band, but it wasn't a band because it actually turned into a show on the web. It is a web show. Basically explaining Jamie's life and then having really funny cats. It's pretty much what it is.
So when did you guys finally end up moving out of Antioch? What was that like?
We were like, we're getting the fuck out of here. It was just kind of time. It was, so basically the way that we got out of here was, we've been talking about it for a while, and we were just pretty much like at our wits' end. We were literally so desperate to get a spot to rehearse that we were like looking in Ontario, like way too far away because we're in the Bay. And yeah, we were just like, let's just go, bro, let's just go. And then actually I think it was like a day later or something after we had decided that, like Rehearse America in Oakland, on the cusp of Oakland and San Leandro, they totally were like, oh, we have free space open. And so we ended up going there instead, you know. And yeah, I think it was on Thanksgiving that we were just like, you know what? And just like packed everything. It was just, we were just gone. Like it was so quick.
So, what was the craziness of Antana Row living in Oakland, North America? What was like list a couple crazy things that happened, list a couple things that might explain music videos, like video of us at Rehearse America, but say a few things. Okay. Don't be afraid to be too short. Being too short is okay.
Well, we were definitely really excited to live in Oakland just because we were hungry. We were hungry for, you know, just to be playing shows and just to like recreate our sound and like just basically experience like just the city again. I just feel like we had both been away from the city too long and it was like time to go back. So us coming back to the city, it was just really, we were just like ready for anything. We were just pretty much doing everything and anything. At first I think it was like the first week that we were there, we were writing. Like if not that day, like it couldn't have been longer than 2 days after we moved in. Like it was pretty immediate. We were so hungry. We wrote a lot. Most of our time was spent just like writing. It was crazy because we didn't have enough money to be, well, it's not really true. It's not that we didn't have enough money. It was more the fact that we didn't want to put our money into that. We didn't have enough money to be just having a place and having a studio and then on top of that promoting our band. We wanted to use our money to be able to practice and to be able to promote our band because we're obsessed. We don't have any hobbies. We don't, hang out with people that often. We're mostly just, promoting our business, which is our band. So, it was just a lot of that. All we ever did, it was always filming for a music video or filming for an interview or, online promoting, or we would go out and we would be just brainstorming. It was, I don't know, everything was really for the band. For one of the things that we did, I remember, was we would go out and walk around Berkeley and we had these little slips. We figured out this cool thing where you could, print out photos, at a Walgreens, and we would have our logo. We would cut them up into these little strips that look like stickers, but they were not. So that was cool. We would pass those out. Or I remember one time we were filming, he was filming me or trying to interview me, and I actually stopped doing what he was doing because he was turned away, and I actually took one of the slips and put it right next to this girl's shoe, while she was just standing there. I just put it there and then walked away and kept doing the interview, and it's just little stuff like that all the time. We were always promoting. I think the best thing we did in Oakland though was that hotel party. That was definitely the winner. We budgeted and we saved up to make it happen, and we were kind of like, okay, well, what can we do that will make people be like, okay, they know what's up, they got this. And it was just made sense to just, like, what's better than to play in a hotel. So then that's kind of how that happened. And so we just kind of basically had a little mini show in our hotel. And that was cool. I mean, that was pretty much Oakland. It was just a lot of us writing. We wrote. We were always doing this thing where we'd buy these huge things of coffee, and we would just be drinking them and just writing just all day and all night. Just like so many times where Jamie would be like, all right, you know what? We're going to write. It's going to be great. And it'd be like the next day I'd have to wake up early or something. And I'd be like, no. And he's like, you can stay up. And I'm such a freaking wussy that I want to sleep. But we would always like just have hella drinks and like get hella candy, just get zizzed out. And it was cool. I liked it a lot. I really liked having all those memories. We wrote so much, just wrote and wrote and wrote. And it's cool because now we just have so many EPs and albums. And I feel like that room was very cool for us.
What made you guys move to Santa Cruz?
What made us move to Santa Cruz?
What was that about?
Well, really, we just moved to Santa Cruz because Jamie had a job opportunity there, which, funny enough, never actually panned out. He and the guy just weren't able to click again, which is just, funny enough. But it ended up being a really good plan for us, just because I personally feel like our best album so far is the self-titled, the Blue album, and it's really revolutionary the way that it's going towards this genre that Jamie has been trying to master for some time. It's really, to me, it's the first step of that. It's closer than I've ever heard it of trap punk. It just is that, and it hits so hard. And that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't gone to Santa Cruz. Basically, we were in Santa Cruz and hanging out with all these rapper friends of ours, and they're just like, oh yeah, and we're all joking. Everybody's joking about making hits and stuff, and it just kind of clicked. It was just like, oh, okay. And then we were just like, let's make some hits, and then we did, and it's fucking hilarious, and I feel like it's very honest, and it was kind of like fulfilling a need. And if we hadn't gone to Santa Cruz, we wouldn't have found that need. So that was really cool. I think that was very cool. I hope this is almost over, because I don't know if I'm even doing okay right now. I feel like I'm just like, yeah, I think about things, but I don't do it very well. So.
All right, so.
Am I doing okay?
Yes. Let's just go over a few more things. What, Yeah. Describe Dem's RIP a little bit, just in a couple sentences. Like, not even that long, and I'll move on to the next one. But you have to use the phrase Dem's RIP so they know what you're talking about.
Okay, so the first album we did, Dem's RIP, it was very cool. We really absorbed that album fully, which I thought was really good. We were writing, like, I think we wrote a song for that, like, every day. Like, it was like every day we wrote a song, I think. It felt kind of like we were writing 2 songs a day, but I don't know. We wrote so much. I remember towards the end of that album, writing it, I was like, Jamie, I don't want to write any more songs. We're done writing songs. I was like, I'm so done. Like, I think it was like a fucking month. It was so ridiculous. Like, I was just like, I just want to play shows now. Can we just play shows? Like, I was so like, no more. But yeah, I really, that album was really cool because what I liked best about it was that we were just really, trying to figure out how we were going to write, and we were just starting to do this very honest thing where we would just write about whatever was going on with us, and it wasn't ever, I don't know, it was all pretty relevant. Like, I remember on Christmas, we ended up writing, what was it? Not Unicavar. Oh. What's it? Yeah, We'll Have Money Tomorrow we wrote on. Because Christmas was really sad. Like, it wasn't that sad. Our birthdays were really sad. But that was later. Yeah, I don't know. Christmas was kind of sad. But, like, we just figured, like, okay, instead of, like, being sad that we have no food, basically. Like, we can't indulge on Christmas. We'll just write a song. And we just basically wrote that song, and it was funny because we ended up actually like getting shit from the place that we were at about how we weren't about how we were there too often because we had been writing songs like every day. And it was just funny because we ended up incorporating them in the lyrics and stuff. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Babe, I don't want to hear myself talk anymore.
Helping each other grow. One sentence about that.
Helping each other grow was from a Facebook post.
Newport. What was special about that?
Newport was made literally right after helping each other or whatever, right? Isn't that true? Yeah, it was basically Jimmy was like,
and after.
Basically Jamie was like, let's write an album, and I was like, all right, since we have this energy going, let's write another one after that. And we did. So that's what that was.
What was cool about Court and Curtain?
I liked Court and Courtney because we had when we were in Mothchild, we had this art going where we would put moths' faces on famous couples' heads. And so we had done like a lot of different ones, and that was the first one we got to put out. So that was cool.
Out forever.
And it was cool because we got to do a cover from Hole and a cover from Nirvana, which was very cool with vocoder. It's a totally different experience than just anybody doing a cover. Are you watching the movie right now? What are you doing?
No.
So watching shit make me do this.
Okay, so let's see, what's that one after that? All right, so I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that is pretty much it, motherfucker. Pretty much cool.
Why Vantana Row?
Why Vantana Row? Why not Vantana Row?
What day are we going to? Sunday.
What would happen if Ludacris was trying to get into Vantana Row?
If Ludacris was trying to get an end of...
What would happen if Exhibit was trying to get into
I
Vantana Row?
don't even know who Exhibit is.
How about Usher? What if Usher was trying to get into Vantana Row?
Alright, if Usher was trying to get into Vantana Row, there would be a lot of things that would happen. You know? First of all...
Sex.
First of all, what would happen is that he would actually become our backup dancer only if he had enough, ego to put down. We wouldn't actually let him be in the band. He would just be a dancer and or video game player. So that'd be kind of cool. He would just be an aesthetic, you know. We'd make him wear some slutty gear. Like, he'd have to wear a hammock and a bra, because that's what sexy people do on stage. So he would be our sex icon. But that's the only way.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, and I would have sex with him.
Alright, thank you very much.
Fucking bitch. Making me feel uncomfortable on camera. Did you know I would actually do that? Would actually very much like to have sex with Usher. Fucking freak.